Hello, my name is Mrs. Hobson-Riley and I'm the Deputy Head Teacher at the Reach Free School. Welcome to our virtual PAPS event for our Reach Time programme. How we would normally start a lesson in Reach Time is to kick off with a question. And here we have one for you as an example. So what does REACH stand for? So you would have to think about whether the acronym stands for relationships, equity, aspirations, citizenship and health, or whether it stands for reflection, equality, to aspire, community and happiness. And we come back to that later on in the lesson to see how much they've learnt, to see if they have been able to make the correct choice there. And then we have a hook which brings the child into the next stage of the lesson, and we look at the question, how is this relevant to learning about your lives today? So in Reach Time, at Key Stage 3, they study a range of different topics, and these all fall into the REACH acronym. So in Year 7, we have a list of topics that they will be covering, ranging from personal safety, discrimination, anti-bullying, to Barclay's life skills, respectful relationships and first aid. Year 8, we start to look at mental health and coping strategies, first aid again, some further anti-bullying, healthy eating, local and national economies, smoking, alcohol, drugs and addiction. And we also look at things like UK government, political parties and online safety. In Year 9, we recap some of the topics that we've covered so far in Year 8 and 7, like smoking, alcohol, drugs and addiction. There is further work on discrimination and anti-bullying. There is also a section in Year 9, which is the relationships and sex education, where we look and explore intimate and sexual relationships, including sexual health. And then we also look at the science of learning with metacognition, some further first aid, and also the global economy and more Barclay life skills. So as you can see, there is a wide range of topics that we cover. And just to explain this a little further, so we monitor progress and assessment of Reach Time work, which is just as important as any other topic, because we want to make sure the children understand what they're learning, and if there are any gaps in their knowledge, we can start to try and fill those in future lessons. We look at their attitude to learning and their contributions to the lessons. And we also mark some work through some low stakes testing, such as quizzes and surveys. And this helps us to identify if there's any gaps or misunderstanding of the topics that we have taught. Just so you are aware as a parent, we have a legal obligation as a school to provide these topics in our school curriculum. We've followed some really close key statutory guidance from the Department for Education to ensure that every lesson is age appropriate and that the topics covered are exactly what they should be looking at that key stage. So how can you help at home? Now, this is maybe a little bit of a tough one because it's not like supporting their maths homework or their English homework or history, for example. However, there are ways that you can look to support your children at home. Ask them about the topics that are being covered, because as you can see, there's such a huge array and list that we look at, and maybe there's ones that interest you also, and you can talk to your children about that and promote some healthy discussion at home. It's really important that you keep that sense of open-mindedness, and the pupils are going to be able to explore different perspectives and different types of understanding of particular topics. So promote some healthy discussion at home. Encourage some age-appropriate research, for example, watching of the news. There is Newsround, which is great for a younger age group, and there may even be some research topical books that you could provide your children to help them understand some of the topics we're covering further. You can explore our website with your children, which has obviously a range of other areas that they can look at. There's links to supporting the pupils with mental health and well-being. And if you navigate the website with them, that might be a nice way for you to support their understanding of some of the topics we cover in Reach Time. And finally, prepare them for some of the topics we're due to cover by talking to them about them at home. So now you're aware of some of the topics that we look at, it might be nice for them to talk to parents about these at home, to preempt and prepare them for when they are in the classroom with their teacher. So here's an example of a slide from our anti-bullying lesson in Year 8 and our discrimination lessons in Year 9. So here you can see on the anti-bullying lesson, it talks about what they should have learned by the end of that lesson, looking about how bullying and hurtful behaviour are different, but they're very closely linked, understanding the roles involved in bullying behaviour, understanding the impact of the bystander, which is a very important, valid part of understanding bullying, and how to become an upstander instead of a bystander. And then also knowing how to report bullying at the Reach Free, which is also very important and that we take very seriously. So then there are aspects of the policy that we explore in those lessons and also direct them to where they can report bullying if they have any concerns or they feel they're being bullied. And then similarly, further down here, we have a lesson on discrimination, where we're exploring the notion of prejudice and extremism and understanding what these two terms mean. But as you can see on the two virtual post-it notes, it explains about the fact that this is discussion, and they actually talk about it in the class and they agree definitions together with their teacher and other peers in the classroom. So, just before I finish off, I'd like to return to the question at the beginning and remind you that the REACH time acronym stands for the first option, which is relationships, equity, aspirations, citizenship, and health. Those are our key ethos that we cover in the school and that we've accumulated into this REACH time acronym that we cover across the whole curriculum with our Key Stage 3 pupils. Thank you for taking the time to watch this virtual event. I hope it's informed you a little bit more about what REACH time is in the school. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And if you could also fill out the evaluation form here. If you click on the link in the email that you were sent with this video, you'll be able to give us an evaluation on the video that you've just watched. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you soon.